Hey everyone, it's Melody with Design by Melody. I'm here with the third and final layout that I'm making with my Allie Edwards story kit. This is a Project Life spread again, though I will say someone or one of my subscribers challenged me to, well, she didn't really challenge, she just said she would like to see the me use these products in a 12 by 12 kit. So I took that as a challenge and I think it's a great idea. I have plenty of supplies left after this layout and I just don't have any photos to use a 12 by 12 or use with the 12 by 12 layout. So I'll have to keep an eye out for some photos that are appropriate for the theme of this kit, and then that is something I'll try to do in the next couple weeks. But off to this layout. So I'll pull out a couple of different photos. These are just some random photos. One or the top kind of photos are from when my mom was here visiting one weekend and we went to an RV show and Kaylin was taking pictures next to all the characters there. They had all these signs with different like Disney characters. And then the photos on the bottom are all from a school field trip to the museum. So I kind of took the story theme and told a little bit about the museum and how Kaylin loves to learn. And, we were in the classroom at the museum and it was all about kind of telling the stories are life, because they were talking about different animals that had bones. And then the top is about, Kaylin and just the different things that he enjoys. So this one says, the card that I put at the very top says read my lips. I'm using the rest of that screen, what do you call that? Silk screen card is that one that you see on the top right photos. That doesn't actually get used here, but that I originally thought I would do some journaling on that silk screen card that I made. And I'm also going to use, I'm pulling out some Project Life cards that are not from this kit to complete this layout. I'm using kind of the greens and the reds that are in the kit to make this spread. And I really thought about using this card that had the quote on it just to kind of use the background colors, but I'm going to change my mind on that. I was trying to use as much of the kit as I could, but sometimes it's not worth forcing it. It's just better to kind of find something else that works, and I don't mind putting things back in my stash. Now, I do want to try to make sure that I utilize the kit as much as possible, but I won't force something to work. So you'll see me move that here in a moment. Now, on this journaling card, this was actually a piece of another journaling card that I had used previously, and it just has the journaling lines, and it has a very small little strip of pink to the left of the card. But I'm using that just to help kind of emphasize, not emphasize, but just add something to this card itself. So I'm using the alphas that came in the kit to spell out natural. And this is the name of the museum, and it's going to say the Museum of Natural Sciences is the name of the museum. And I actually pulled out our little brochure because Kaylin and I, even though these photos are from last February, Kaylin and I just went to this museum last weekend. So I had a brochure from when we were there. So I wanted to make sure that I actually put the proper name of the museum. So I'm using one of these little word stickers that says note. And then I'm going to pull out a couple different alphas to complete the title here. If you haven't noticed this, if you are new to my channel or you just haven't kind of caught on to how I scrapbook, I tried really hard to do one card at a time, and it so does not work for me. I have to do the whole layout at the same time. I wish I was a one card at a time kind of person to where I could zoom in the camera for you and you could really kind of see each card individually, but it doesn't work like that. I have to do the whole spread at the same time. I jump around from one thing to another. One thing I am going to do is use that glassine bag that came as part of the packaging. There were different things included in there, and I'm using that on this layout. And this is where I'm pulling out some Project Life cards that are in my stash. This is just my little bucket that I keep, or I guess it's kind of like a plastic basket. Oh, that came out weird. Okay, plastic basket that I keep on the shelf under my desk. And I'm just kind of flipping through here to see what cards. I'm looking for some 4x6 cards that have red or greens. And this top red card that you see is actually a Christmas themed. It's from an Echo Park collection called Dear Santa. And it is I made the red card with this. Well, things are going to move a little bit. Okay, so this top card says Life's a Beach, and that's from a Snap Good Day Sunshine. Is that right? No, that's not right. Do I have that written down? Okay, I apologize. I think that's from the Good Day Sunshine collection from Snap. And that's also where that green stripe card, I do know that's where that green stripe card came from, but I think that's where that red card as well came from. And then I'm going to take that original red card that was up there that had the snowflake on it, and I'm going to make that into one of my 3x4 pockets. Just adding a bit of that glassine bag on the back of this journaling card. I trimmed it down a little bit, and I'm going to use that to cover up the part that says Life's a beach, enjoy it, or something like that. And I'm just going to kind of set that a little bit to the tilt just to add a little bit of interest here. And the reason I pulled in red is because that journaling card at the top that said read my lips has red lines. You can't see it as well in the video, or at least I don't think you can. So check out my still shots at the end of the video if you'd like to see that a little bit closer, or check out my blog, because I do try to, or actually I don't try to, I do it every time. I have a blog post that coordinates with each of the videos I do except for my haul videos. I don't do coordinating blog posts for those videos, but I do for all the other process videos that I create. Just so you can see closer photos of the layout, also so you can get links to the unboxing video, and then also just a little bit more about my process here. I added a little bit of red that I had cut off from one of those 4x6 cards, and added it just to that green card to go under the photo. It just pulls in a little bit of a different color here, so it's not just a plain green card. And then that's where I took part of that Dear Santa Christmas card and made a journaling card out of it. I'm going to add a few embellishments here just to kind of cover off that side that has a little bit of the snowflake showing. And I decided to go ahead and cut out part of the brochure. And again, this brochure is something we picked up this last weekend while we were at the museum, but it had the address and name of the museum right there, and I just kept trimming it until it fit onto the card that I wanted it to be on. I thought it would be nice to have that in the album, even though I already have the name of the museum on this other card. I just had a couple blank spaces, and I didn't have enough journaling to really write across everything. So I'm going to put it on just a scrap piece of vellum. This is a little box that I keep under my desk as well, just with little tiny scraps in it. I have a larger box that I keep my larger scraps, but I have this very little box here that just has all my little scraps that are pretty much less than about 4x4 or so, and I keep it in here, so if I need to pull out something in a specific color, I can just pull it straight out of there instead of having to go cut into a 12x12 or really even cut into a 6x6. I would rather use up my scraps because, again, I'm not one that throws away my scraps. So I put out this red pattern paper, and I'm going to use a little bit of it just to pull in red on a few other places. I did pull in that green washi tape. It just has kind of like a leafy pattern on the back, but it's just a good way to pull in a little bit of that limey colored green into a couple of different cards. Then I'm going to add my journaling. And my journaling just says, so this plays off the shirt that he's wearing because he's got a Grinch shirt on that says naughty. And so it says, I may be sweet at times and I may be sneaky at times, but I have fun all the time. My favorite times are playing basketball, playing with my grandma, and doing fun things as a family. Naughty may be on my shirt, but it's not who I am. He's kind of giving a little bit of a devilish grin in this picture, so I just thought it'd be kind of funny to play off the whole who he is, especially since the caption says read my lips. And then I just wanted to add a little bit of green, so on the sticker sheet or on the alpha sheet there was a hashtag, so I just added that to the top, and it says hashtag read my lips. Now I'm going to struggle with this one just a little bit. I kind of wanted something to go across the middle of the two photos, but it didn't fit right. I was going to do a little red banner, and then I thought about adding a little bit of like a white strip on top of that to add my journaling. And so I decided to go ahead and staple those two things together, but the staple was too big. It just looked awkward. And then of course it didn't lay down flat at all on my card. So I decided to go back and use a tiny bit of this journaling card that had cut off the original Read My Lips card. And again, it has the red journaling, so I just make my little banner. And this just says RV show with grandma, which is where we were. And I thought about putting it on this green washi, but you can't really see the green washi because it's extremely transparent. So I back that on a little bit of white cardstock, and I just kind of cut the ends kind of jagged like to make it look like a piece of washi tape. But then, oh, this was so difficult. I don't know why this one was so difficult. Instead of just being lazy, I guess, instead of pulling off the original tape, I layer the other one on top of it, but you can see it. And then I'm trying to figure out where I want to put this, and it's going to make its final home here to the left of this card. But you can see there was quite a struggle to get to the final card here. And again, I don't know why it took me so long, but it just wasn't looking right. So you got to go with what you think looks right. That's kind of my philosophy. Try it till you're happy with it and then be done with it. I didn't realize until I was kind of halfway in here when I was writing down, which you don't see on camera, but when I was writing down the different things that I added to the kit, I write that down so I can tell you those things during the narration of the video. But when I was writing it down, I realized, I used all Christmas colors, but it was like a February spread. So that's one thing for you if you have a lot of Christmas supplies or a lot of themed supplies and you just don't know what to do with it because you don't have enough photos or you don't like it or you don't scrapbook those type of things. Find different ways to use it. I'm using Christmas cards here. These are all Christmas colors, red and green. So use them in different ways. Cover up the captions or the different things that are on them. So now I'm going to work on this card, going back to this one card because I don't do one card at a time. I flip around. I am finishing the title here. And I'm using a couple different alphas. I'm using some Tim Holtz Ideology Mini Black Tile alphas. I'm also using some Cosmo Cricut Tiny Type alphas. I think it's called Storytime, but I'm not 100% sure. I'm using some basic gray alphas from their Capture line, which are these kind of red, orangey red alphas, the one that I'm using right now to spell museum. And then I'm also going to use a Recollections alpha and black licorice, and it's kind of a whimsical styled alpha. These are those Cosmo Cricut ones, these little clear ones. I just like the mix of the typography here. I didn't realize how much I really enjoyed the different types of print and script and all of that, but in scrapbooking I realized how much I really like that, and it's just been kind of fun to use the different alphas, the different styles, the different colors, just everything like that. These are those Recollections ones. I have probably 5 or 6 sheets of them because I used them to label some things in the past in a project in the past. So I used them to label some boxes in the past, and I had bought a whole bunch of them because I want to say they were like 50 cents when I purchased them. So I bought like 5 or 6 packages of them. And it actually is kind of nice because I can pull out. I haven't run out of any alphas technically yet, though I am running low on certain ones, but there are lots of numbers and different things like that. They have an uppercase and a lowercase in the sticker sheet, so it's really nice. You have a lot of variety. Again, just adding one of those cut off pieces because I don't throw stuff away. This is the good thing and a bad thing, but I like using the little cut off pieces on the different cards. We're getting kind of near the end. I don't have a lot more to do, just some final finishing touches. And I'm adding the, so there was a chipboard circle that said 2, and that's that green one that's right next to this card. I'm going to put that on here because this was a field trip that we were doing with school, and Kaylin was in 2 different classes, so he actually went on the field trip 2 different days. Sorry, you guys can hear Ernest laughing in the background. He's listening to his headphones. But I wrote out days, and then I'm putting this little chipboard circle that says 2, so it says 2 days. Sorry, you guys are getting a glimpse of my hair that's been pulled back after a shower and my glasses on because I tend to scrapbook in the evening or at night after Kaylin goes to sleep. So you sometimes get a glimpse of that. But my journaling on this card just says preschool trips. 2 fun days spent at the museum. Our first time in the museum classroom to learn about animals with bones. And one of those pictures is of the kids sitting on the, like the bleachers things in that classroom just watching, and they're extremely excited. And you can see Kaylin's face. All the other kids are kind of turned around, looking around, but Kaylin is extremely attentive to what's going on, and he is just looking straight at the lady. There were 2 ladies, one that was walking around with stuff and the other one that was telling about it. So he was extremely attentive. Just adding a few final touches. Again, if you would like to see each card individually, just go check out my blog and you'll be able to see some more close-up shots on there. But I'm adding these word stickers, and I ended up cutting a few of them apart to get some that were more appropriate. And so this says, "This rocks," and a heart with the 2 on the photo with the 2 boys standing in front of the dinosaur leg. And then there is one that I'm putting here that says "Get Lost." It's kind of like get lost in this story. And then on the red card, it says "Every day, dive in, explore new worlds." And that goes right along with the learning theme. And that is it. Thank you so much for joining me today. I hope you all have a great afternoon and happy scrapping. Bye.